Hello to all the motorsport fans all over the world. Yeah, it was a good Grand Prix today in the Grand Prix of Qatar at the Losail International Circuit. Basically, it was a good start by Vestappen. He managed to get 5 place grid penalty because in qualifying he did not slow down enough on a double yellow flag. So Verstappen started seventh. He dropped from second to seventh, and he had a good start. He overtook 3 cars on the first lap, and then he managed to get himself into second position. And when Verstappen got into second position, obviously Hamilton had a good start. He was challenged by Pierre Gasly, but Pierre couldn't make an impression on Hamilton. So in the first turn, Hamilton took it really good, and he built like a 2 second gap on the first lap, and he was just extending his lead. And then by the time Max Verstappen made his way up to Lewis Hamilton, he couldn't really make no impressions. Lewis extended the gap, and Red Bull pitted first. Then Lewis pitted the same lap after, and then they pitted again, and then Lewis pitted again, and just went to the end. So it was 2 stops for Lewis and 3 stops for Verstappen, because Verstappen pitted at the end, and the race finished under a virtual safety car. Well, the virtual safety car is when there's a hazard on the track and you don't need a full safety car. You can use the virtual safety car to slow the cars down to 40% pace. So that was quite reasonable because George Russell had a puncture. And there was a few punctures in the race. Valtteri, he didn't have a great start. He dropped down to 9th and he had to fight his way back. Valtteri had some good pace in the Mercedes, but when he was driving up towards the leaders, he had a puncture but because he ran too long, and maybe because of his driving style, you might not see a little bit of debris on the track. When you're on the 30th lap of the tires, you might not see a little bit of debris. So you go over that debris, that little curb, that can give you a puncture. So it's about how you look in front of you and how you see the track, and how you maneuver your car to avoid little bits of debris, maybe from a front wing crash with 2 other cars or whatever. And in practice 3 yesterday, Lance Stroll was complaining about how the car was shit, but he had a good race today. When I saw him, he finished ahead of, I think he finished ahead of his teammate Sebastian Vettel. So Lance managed to recover, slowly. And Lando had a good race. He had a few good battles with a few people. So it was overall, it was an okay race. So the fastest lap went to Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen took the fastest lap of the race, and he lost a 14-point gap at the top of the championship. Now he's down to 8, so that's 6 points he lost to Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis had 25 points for the win. Max had 19 points with the fastest lap for second place in the fastest lap. And in third position was Fernando Alonso, first podium for so many years in the Alpine. And Alonso drove very well, looked after his tires, had a few good battles. And I'm looking forward to the next race in Saudi Arabia. Hopefully it should be exciting, but Mercedes look like they have the pace right now. The Constructors' Championship is still tight. There wasn't too much in it because Bottas didn't finish. He had a DNF. When he had a puncture, he had to run all the way on the track, and he had to run around the track and recover. So on to the next one. Take care.